There's very few gaming companies that have the power or authority that Rockstar Games has. Honestly, an argument could be made that Rockstar is the only publisher or developer that has the ability to cause just absolute chaos with an announcement of a new game. I still recall the moment Rockstar began teasing Red Dead Redemption 2. All it took was a mysterious red image with their logo in black to cause the internet to go insane for a number of hours, or honestly days. Fun times that was, but we all know whenever the first official tease for Grand Theft Auto 6 comes, the reaction is going to be much larger. Some of you might recall just how crazy the days pre-Grand Theft Auto 5 were, and even right now the amount of Grand Theft Auto 6 content being produced off of every itty-bitty little fake leak or fake rumor is insanity. But I mean, the interest is clearly there, as these videos rack up millions upon millions of views. Unfortunately, almost all of them are BS lies from people who are actively exploiting that, but regardless, the interest and obsession is real. Now, as of the last number of weeks, a new very interesting rumor emerged, and this has to do with Grand Theft Auto San Andreas protagonist Carl Johnson, and a potential return in Grand Theft Auto 6. Yes, I understand that different universes, how would that even work? But this is a rumor that people have been talking about, and of course Rockstar could definitely make this work if they wanted it to work. Now, what makes this rumor stand out is the fact that it originates from Sean Fantino, who portrayed Franklin in Grand Theft Auto 5, and he actually is the real-life cousin of CJ's voice actor Christopher Bellard, or as he goes by now, Young Melee, his stage name. Small world, I know, but this Grand Theft Auto 6 rumor originated because during an interview, Sean Fantino teased an upcoming project that he was doing with his cousin Young Melee. Of course, the speculation immediately ran to the least likely scenario of CJ is coming back in Grand Theft Auto 6 with Franklin. But I mean, that's just how the internet works, I suppose. Anyway, Young Melee has finally responded to these rumors, and he hit back with a very bizarre reaction, something unexpected, by slamming Rockstar Games, denying these Grand Theft Auto 6 rumors and lashing out at Grand Theft Auto fans. This has since led to Sean Fantino actually coming to the defense of his cousin, while also clarifying what he was actually trying to convey. Like I said, it's a truly bizarre situation, but I do want to dive deeper into what specifically has been said, and the quote-unquote big GTA 6 tease that originally came from Sean Fantino. But as usual, before we proceed, if you do go on to enjoy this content and want to show your support for gaming coverage like this, please consider hitting that like button, subscribing for more, and turning notifications on so you do not miss out on any new videos. So recently, Stephen Ogg, who portrayed Trevor Phillips in Grand Theft Auto 5, Ned Luke, who portrayed Michael DeSanta, and Sean Fantino, who portrayed obviously Franklin Clinton, were doing an interview with Portuguese translators. It took place at the Brazil Game Show 2019 back in October, but certain comments pertaining to Grand Theft Auto 6 began circulating last month. And for the last few years, this trio of voice actors have done many of these fan interviews worldwide, and that's because of just how massive Grand Theft Auto 5 has become. It for now is the most profitable entertainment product ever, selling well over 110 million copies. And I mean, Grand Theft Auto Online is also still pretty darn massive and relevant here in early 2020. Anyway, as you might expect, many of the notable questions asked by fans were about Grand Theft Auto 6, a game that still has not been officially announced, and likely these voice actors would not be allowed to talk about the game if they were involved. I say that because we all know how big Rockstar is with enforcing their non-disclosure agreements. So this trio of Grand Theft Auto 5 voice actors probably have as much knowledge about the next Rockstar Games title as you and I do, which is not much, but that wasn't stopping the questions from being asked.
Sean, o que você gostaria de ver em GTA 6? Se for, né?
I would like to see me.
Eu gostaria se tivesse eu,
Eu sabia que ele ia perguntar isso.
Steven.
o Ned e o Steven.
We announced yesterday the release date of GTA 6.
Nós anunciamos ontem aqui o GTA 6.
I have no idea. Actors are the last to know anything, so
Eu
I don't
não
think
faço-
any of us know.
Now look, unfortunately many do not understand that these voice actors really do have very little knowledge on the inner workings at Rockstar Games. Of course, they're going to answer and even play along with questions related to the next Grand Theft Auto title because I'm sure they would love to return, but ultimately if they were involved in any capacity they would be under a very strict NDA, which I have to believe even saying the words Grand Theft Auto 6 would catch the attention of Rockstar's legal team. But at least to me it was clear that these guys were just playing around with the questions. Even if they end up being involved in the next GTA, maybe having a small cameo role, I would say it's extremely likely that Rockstar is not called about the possibility of this happening yet. Now, I wanted to say all of that because this leads to one specific question that was asked, and this was regarding maybe young Melee, CJ himself, making a return in Grand Theft Auto 6. Sean Fantino decided to answer this question because, I mean, this is his cousin, but his remarks really ignited this rumor that has erupted all over online.
Well, I don't know if everybody know, but young Melee is my real cousin in real life, and he played the character CJ. But me and him, we have something coming up. I just can't talk about it right now. We might be bringing CJ back. I just can't say.
Talvez o CJ volte, mas eu não posso falar ainda.
So here's the deal. This response from Sean led to numerous articles and videos that blew up, reaching hundreds of thousands of views, all declaring Carl Johnson CJ is coming back. Unfortunately, this little situation happened before, I believe last year, when Roger Clark, the actor who portrayed Arthur Morgan in Rockstar's Red Dead Redemption 2, took to Instagram teasing to his fans that he was working on a few projects. This of course led to certain YouTube channels declaring that Red Dead Redemption 2 single-player story DLC is on the way, and is being teased by the voice actor of Arthur Morgan. Roger Clark was forced to come out with a statement throwing shade at the YouTubers misleading so many, and also clarifying that Rockstar will make their own announcements. His project was something separate. With this Grand Theft Auto 6 situation, I kinda understand the confusion a little better because of the context behind the remark that Sean made, that he and his cousin are working on something together which may or may not involve CJ coming back. This announcement, if you wish to call it that, was about CJ potentially being involved or returning in a project, clearly alluding to something maybe involving Rockstar Games like, you know, say Grand Theft Auto 6. Which, this is why I understand the confusion, but we have since found out that this 100% has nothing to do with Rockstar Games. I say that because of comments coming from Sean that we'll break down in a little bit, but also young Melee's response, which was pretty darn harsh. I say that because he came out swinging at Rockstar Games and Grand Theft Auto fans, taking to his Instagram with an image of one of the typical clickbait articles that speculate about his return in GTA 6, and he specifically responded writing, "To kill the rumors, I'm not involved in Grand Theft Auto 6 at all, F Rockstar Games period, CJ will have to be voiced by another MFer, but not me, I don't give a F what y'all heard." This response is not where it actually stopped because he continued answering a few questions from fans, one coming from a verified YouTuber, I guess, who said, "You the GOAT, they need you," which, let me just state for the record, Rockstar doesn't need anybody, and they've proven that numerous times in the past. But young Melee responded, "Exactly, I don't need them, I'm from LA, we make a way out of no way." Now, we proceed to his more heated responses, in which he next adds, "I don't speak on my personal business too much, but I've made way more money with the real WC and Ice Cube than Rockstar Games, so if street dudes can provide more than corporate companies can, F them, that's it's about us." He would carry on next saying, "I never publicly diss them because I made money with them, but F Rockstar Games, them MFers don't care if I'm eating or not, thank God for his people, or I'd be robbing one of y'all right now." And the next random thought he had was admitting that he almost beat up the voice actor of Niko Bellic, who back in 2008 was critical of Rockstar Games, saying, "I was going to beat the crap out of the dude that played Niko Bellic for talking down on Rockstar Games, but for what? He exposed the truth. I'll never work with Rockstar Games again unless I get a few million to the pocket. MFs probably support Donald Trump." Okay? As you might expect, some Rockstar and Grand Theft Auto fans were not amused by this rant, with one user being rightfully critical of him, and he hit back saying, "I only cry at funerals, not over money, but I bet I've made more than you, yo mama, and daddy combined, so sit down little homie when grown folks is talking." Another user pointed out that Rockstar gave him the opportunity to play CJ, and that's what boosted his career, in which young Melee admitted that that was indeed correct. Finally, the last comment that he responded to was again very critical of him, stating, "Way to kill fans of yours that followed you for years, just the disrespecting part isn't right, dude, so you get disrespected by the company, then take it out on the fans who supported you. You good if you simply explained it to your audience in detail instead of calling them that. Maybe you wouldn't have heat on you in the comments. Ain't nobody disrespecting you but Rockstar, which you've lacked to explain to us. Be good, man." Young Melee would respond saying, "Have love for all of my supporters, F fans. Corporate companies exploit us, so unless you from the streets, F corporate, off top." Honestly, I'm very confused by this little rant, kind of hard to read sometimes, and he definitely just burned down a bridge that may have been there. For what it's worth, young Melee had more responses attacking people, specifically in the comments, although it appears they have since been deleted or edited, and also this comment section has now been, there's thousands of comments now. But YouTuber Swegta, who covered this story before, actually screen capped some of the insane things he was saying to people, for really no reason. Anyway, Rockstar's relationship with past lead protagonists voice actors certainly has been rocky. As mentioned before, in 2008, Michael Hollick, who played Nico Bellic in Grand Theft Auto 4, made his displeasure known with his pay, although he was definitely very careful with delivering his criticism, and ultimately pointed his finger primarily at his union. Ray Liotta, who portrayed Tommy Vercetti in Grand Theft Auto Vice City, has long been rumored to have had a dispute with Rockstar over pay, which caused him to not reprise his role in Grand Theft Auto San Andreas. This is kind of hinted at based on a scene that happens in the short film Grand Theft Auto San Andreas: The Introduction. But now we have, I would say, the most vocal displeasure coming from a Rockstar lead protagonist voice actor, with young Melee essentially crapping all over Rockstar. I really do have trouble understanding the outburst, but clearly it is about money. And now in present day, he's probably upset with the popularity of CJ, and how there's a couple of specific scenes from Grand Theft Auto San Andreas involving his character, which have blown up and become huge memes, which, you know, he's not profiting from. That's my analysis at the very least. I could be completely off on that, but I'm pretty sure I'm right. I mean, this is how Rockstar does business, and even he admits that they helped really launch his career. So look, video games aren't like Hollywood movies. There's a lot more factors, a lot more people, and time involved with game development. And yes, ultimately in both businesses, the executives at the top are profiting the most. I'm sure what young Melee wants the most now is royalties, but even back then, had he negotiated that with Rockstar, likely they would have just moved on to the next actor, because that's just, I mean, this is how they conduct business. They look for the best value, which yes, typically has meant that they aren't spending millions of dollars on a lead protagonist voice actor. Also, what accomplishes that is Rockstar for the most part utilizing mostly unknown actors for massive roles in their games. Which yes, I have to believe it's a whole lot cheaper doing that instead of going out and finding, you know, the next Troy Baker, or somebody who's probably going to cost a lot of money. Now, Rockstar definitely has used some big talent in the past, but they've scaled back on that in recent years, and the reasons are obvious: cost, and also Rockstar definitely has said that they don't like personalities. And I'm guessing that these more unknown voice actors like Carl Johnson himself was once, are probably a lot easier to work with. Now, there's been many responses to young Melee's rant. Some in support feeling Rockstar should be paying talent more, and others against, believing that Rockstar gave him his career. But interestingly, Sean Fontino actually came out with a pretty big statement on the situation via Instagram. He began by discussing young Melee's background and trying to get people to understand how that influences him sharing all of his feelings on a matter like this. Sean would then shift to explaining that young Melee does feel regret for what he said now.
He was, I kind of called him as a big cousin would do, and check him about like what's wrong, why you spazzed out the way you did, and man, that's not cool, and don't do that. It's a better way to do it, and chill out. But it's hard to tell somebody, not to be mad at something. And what Melee did was he just went. He was in his emotions, and he just went. He just went hard. To him, he felt he was right, but after I talked to him, he was like, he know he was wrong, and he felt wrong, and he kind of felt bad about it. And more or less, he felt that he, kind of like let me and DJ Pooh down. Because, we is big homies, big cousins and whatnot. And I told him, man, no, don't feel that way. You did what you did. You know what I'm saying? And I understand why and how he did it, but it wasn't that way to do it.
As this Instagram live session proceeded, Sean would explain exactly what I mentioned earlier. Many people, YouTubers, take what they say out of context, cut clips to make it appear that they are saying something else, and really Sean, Fontino, Ned Luke, and Stephen Ogg, they don't have any idea what's happening at Rockstar Games. They're just trying to have fun and answer questions at these events that they attend.
Yeah, but y'all not gonna bash him on my page. That's what you're not gonna do. You're not gonna be in my DM talking about, he need to shut up and follow the train. He need to do this. He need to do whatever y'all putting in my DM, man. Stop putting it in there, because you're not just gonna bash my dude, my family member. Me, Ned, Steven, Melee, Slink, DJ Pooh, none of us have knowledge of what's going on with a 6, even if it is a 6. I don't know. When we speak on it, we speak on it out of trying to bring something into existence, man, that, yeah, I would love to be in 6 if there's a 6. I don't know, man. And these people that sit at home and be on their computers, their YouTube pages, and they take our interviews and they chop them all up. And they take a word, when you say 6 or 7 in GTA, and they chop them up and say, I say that, yeah, GTA 6 is this is where it's going to be at, this is where it's going to be. They do it with Ned too, they do it with Steven if he say something. I'm just a fan of Rockstar, man. I'm a fan. Not only an employee, but I'm a fan also. So, yeah, I want to know too when is 6 coming out. What's going on with 6? Am I part of 6? Am I not a part of 6? If I'm not, cool. I don't care. I did 5. I'm happy. I'm thankful. I want to know like y'all want to know.
So I don't really know what to make out of this Young Melee rant. If anything, it just tells me that it's very unlikely Rockstar will be calling up anytime soon, if ever again. Like, I get that he's upset with pay, but I just have to wonder, what exactly is he upset about? Why is this happening now? Why did Grand Theft Auto 6 rumors trigger him? Does he feel he should have been paid more for his iconic character from Grand Theft Auto San Andreas? Does he feel Rockstar is not paying talent enough, period? There's many questions I have, but they likely will remain unanswered, as he's gone quiet on social media since this rant happened. Rockstar Games is a company that is far from perfect. We've talked about a lot of issues plaguing this publisher over the years, but this is just yet another one, although a bit more bizarre than the others. But I do understand Sean Fontino's point of view on this. He's tired of people taking his interviews out of context, and he's also not down with people trashing his cousin on his page, even though Young Melee clearly was out of line, and it appears Young Melee knows that. Either way, this seems to be the end of this mini debacle unless Young Melee comes out with an apology of sorts, but I do think based on what Sean stated, Young Melee believes he's in the right with his opinion on Rockstar not paying him and other actors enough, but he believes that he went about voicing his frustration in the wrong way. Anyway, Grand Theft Auto 6 still is likely years away. There's no need for Rockstar Games to rush this game out, as Grand Theft Auto Online is still huge, and also Grand Theft Auto 5 is somehow still selling like hotcakes. But right now, a lot of the Grand Theft Auto 6 rumors, leaks, and other crap going around, it's all BS. On YouTube alone, this content definitely thrives. It's why the BS I got Grand Theft Auto 6 early videos thrive, and the fake leaked info videos thrive, and the fake Grand Theft Auto 6 trailers or gameplay thrives. At this moment, there's just so many lies and nonsense being spread around. The only actual leak with actual backing says the game is codenamed Project Americas, may include a female protagonist, is set in Vice City in South America, and will release in the next year or two. But even that is just a rumor that came about almost 2 years ago. Nothing official is known yet, but this is going to be likely the biggest game ever released and hyped, whenever it does actually get announced, which is exactly why people will continue to pay attention and take out of context any and everything linked to Grand Theft Auto 6. But anywho, what do you make of this Young Melee situation, all of this craziness that already surrounds this unannounced Grand Theft Auto 6. Let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below. But thank you for watching, make sure to leave a like if you did enjoy this video or found any informative value, and make sure to follow my other social media accounts for updates on new videos. Links are always down in the description below. I'm most active on Twitter, giving opinions on news that I do not always get into video form, so do make sure to follow me over there. Also check out my Discord for all sorts of discussion on games, and again, thank you for joining, consider subscribing for more videos like this, and I'll see you later.